What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the 12 Games of Christmas presented by the Unlockables podcast. My name is Eric. I am your host as always. I'd like to thank you for tuning in wherever, whenever in time and space you might be located to our end of year Christmas celebration of all things video games and one great year of the Unlockables podcast. We're in the thick talking about 12 of my favorite games that I played this year for Christmas, and it's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of amazing guests, but that is not about to stop now, as I have another incredible guest with me on this episode. If you ask me, I wouldn't touch that dick dragon with a 39.5-foot pole. It is, of course, my good friend Chris Coplien from the Retro Hangover podcast. Chris, how you doing today, sir?
Hello, man, and I appreciate your disdain for the eggplant dragon. Actually, I don't think I do appreciate it. Why wouldn't you touch it? You should always touch. I mean, it would be fascinating if you actually saw one in real life, just all shiny and big and bulbous.
I would have to agree with you. I was just I've been doing Christmas Carol themed intros for all of the guests, as everybody should know by now. And so I was like, what seems the most appropriate? And I'm like, some people might not want to touch a dick dragon, so that seems appropriate. And we can be kind of grinchy sometimes, so grinchy it is. Let's roll with it. Okay. But again,
green hairy dick dragon.
Yeah, there you go.
It's perfect.
I always like to think of the dick dragon as like in the like kind of mythical Chinese art style where it's like the long, like slender S dragon, but it's just purple. And I just imagine like seeing that in the tombs of like emperors and people that were buried from like long ago. That is my headcanon. So you can confirm.
And
or
on
deny
Christmas, when he goes to Whoville, the veiny veins on the dick dragon grew 10 times the size that day.
Oh. When will Disney Plus release that version of the film?
OnlyFans when they buy it out, and it's only a matter of time because Disney's going to own us all. So
exactly. I was gonna say, what tier of the Patreon is that video at, Chris? I would love to subscribe to that.
DM me, slide in there.
It's like we can set a custom price for that. But no, thank you very much, sir, for coming on. I had you on pretty early on in the Unlockables lifetime. You came on and talked a little bit about Retro Hangover, the show, and just your experience in podcasting. And before we get going on this episode specifically, I just wanted to say thank you very much. I appreciate all of the support you've given me throughout 1 year of Unlockables. I truly don't believe the show would have been as successful without you. I've come to you several times and just kind of talked to you about podcasting, games, and stuff in general. And, you've been a big guiding force for me. So I just wanted to say thank you very mumuch. I really appreciate that.
I'll say, man, it's, right back at you. Every single time I open up Instagram, I see those promotions and on Twitter too. So just thank you so much. I think it's been mutually beneficial, and I don't think we would be at a lot of the heights that we've been reaching this year as well. So thanks, bro.
Oh man, I don't take compliments well. So on
no do I. So
yeah,
we're even now.
We're just gonna be awkward for the rest of this episode, so it's totally fine. But
makes sense.
No, as we are, if I could steal something from your show, want to do on 12 Games of Christmas, we are talking about one of the 12 games that I thought was the best game that I played this year, and I asked Chris to come on for a very special one that is very close to my heart. And that game, of course, I'm talking about is Mega Man X. Mega Man X, better known by its Christian name, finally a Mega Man game on the Super Nintendo. It's developed and published by our good friends over at Capcom, released in Japan on December 17th, 1993, with a North American release brief 1 month later in January of 1994. 88.5 rating on Game Rankings, 4.75 out of 5 for GamePro, 9 out of 10 Nintendo Life. 9 out of 10 IGN, 26 out of 40 on Famitsu. Famitsu on some bullshit there. I don't know what they were doing there. According to the most accurate sales numbers I could find, it sold 1.165 million units worldwide by 2001. But I don't think that's counting the infinite number of times that this game has been ported to literally every single console in existence. Most recently by the Mega Man X collections that came out in 2018. Mega Man X led to 7 direct sequels and a completely separate spin-off series on the GBA starring everybody's favorite long-haired robot, Zero. Christmas meter on this one, I gave it 5 out of 10 candy canes. The Chill Penguin stage is wintry, got kind of some Christmas vibes from it, and something about just killing robots and stopping a robot rebellion put me in the Christmas spirit. Not really sure what that's about, but gave it a solid 5 out of 10. So, Chris, I wanted to bring you in here, sir. I wanted to get what is your experience with Mega Man X, playing this game in the year of our Lord 2022, and why should we be talking about this game at the end of the year when there's so many new shiny AAA modern games out there?
Oh, dude, like I've been playing Mega Man X forever. I've been playing it since 1994. And you're asking me why you should play this game? Because it's fucking awesome, man. Like, you want to know why you should play it for Christmas? Because you should have played it in spring. If you didn't play it in spring, you should have played it in summer. If you didn't play it in
100%.
summer, you should have played it in fall. And now if you're here the entire year and you haven't played it yet, what is wrong with you? You need to play this game at least once per year. At least once per year. So if you haven't played it up to this point, this is the perfect game to play for Christmas because it's just great. Like, why wouldn't you play this game? Especially if you like Mega Man. What is wrong? Wow. Yeah. Play this game.
I think we didn't end it there. I mean, that's what more do I need to say? I think that's the selling point right there. If I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And there you go. Chill Penguin and Terminator takes place during winter, I think. So, I mean.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie, so why can't Mega Man X be a Christmas game? I mean.
Yeah, you can jump on towers and stuff. I guess.
This is already derailed. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life anymore. No, yeah. So I kind of got to ask you here. You obviously have a much longer breadth of experience with the Mega Man series as a whole and Mega Man X, me being probably one of the younger people in our little community we have going on here. So when you played this game in 1994, I was a whopping 3 years old. And I don't even know if I had developed fine motor skills to hold a controller yet. So my first experience playing this game was in like the mid 2010s. I think I probably emulated it. Don't tell Nintendo. I don't want them to come and like arrest me or anything.
They don't care unless you put it on a ROM site.
Perfect.
Yeah, with boobs.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, like hot MILFs in your area. Those are the ROM sites they care about.
Well, exactly, because why would they want hot MILFs to diminish their family-friendly brand, which, you know, is kind of the selling point. But some would argue that maybe that would make them more popular. I don't know. I don't know I haven't, as a marketing professional, researched what, you know, the demographic of hot MILFs in your area might be. There might be some crossover there. I'm not sure.
I think you do know.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I played this game in the mid-2010s when I had developed a little bit more of my fine motor skills, not from hot MILFs, but from playing video games. And might be some crossover there as well.
Okay.
And even I recognize, as a person that I don't consider myself by any means a retro video game player, I pretty much was confined to whatever my mom would allow me to buy or purchase for like Christmas or holidays. So playing this game in the year of our Lord, middle 2010s somewhere, the before times when things were not so terrible, it was an incredible experience. I recognize even then, even in what we would call the quote unquote AAA modern era, that this game is the fucking shit, for lack of a better term. And I just think that has everything to do with Mega Man at its core concept. I've always felt like getting to experience playing some of the older Mega Man titles, specifically Mega Man 5 for shout out to King of Games, which should be coming soon to, or will be out by then, to a Patreon near you.
Yeah, it's on our Patreon. As you're listening to this episode, it absolutely is.
Right. Yeah, we're totally not recording this in like the middle of November. Absolutely not. We have to maintain the timeline. But I totally lost my train of thought again. God damn it. Whatever.
You're talking about Mega Man 5. Mega Man 5.
The eggnog's kicking in, I swear to God. Yeah, so even playing Mega Man 5, like, I've always felt like the Mega Man games were, like, very well designed, had pretty tight controls. I never really felt like, yes, they were difficult, but I didn't really feel like they relied on bullshit to be difficult. I always felt like the difficulty was at a pretty fair curve, and these games were always fun to play. And the Super Nintendo version, Mega Man X, just kind of elevated all of that shit to the next level when it made the jump to the 16-bit era.
Oh, dude, yeah, it absolutely did. I remember when this game came out, again, back in, as you are saying, the year of our Lord, 1994. And I remember being excited for it because we kept on getting all these Mega Mans on the NES. And it's like, fucking Mega Man 6 in like 1993.
Right.
The Super Nintendo's been out for 2 years now. It's okay, Capcom. You can move on. People will accept you. And we didn't get Mega Man 7. We got Mega Man X, which was weird because I thought there was 3 missing Mega Men, or at least 2. And
right.
It's like, oh, we're going, okay, Roman numerals, fine. But I like, how do I put it? Like, it was so cool and futuristic, and it felt like it moved the series forward in such a drastic way. And Mega Man was already a series very well, that controlled, like you said, very well. Everything was, for the most part, really well balanced. And you learned what to do through exploration and just trying things out, which not everyone likes, and I can understand that. But you got to Mega Man X, and like the graphical overhaul is such a jump. And you look at how good it looks, and like it contains everything that was in the original Mega Mans. You have your Mega Buster. You have it's not a slide anymore. It's a dash. And you're like, what is this? But it works. And I can jump on walls, and I can ride on cars, and like this is cool.
Ride on cars.
Yes. Love Ego Raptor. What his name is from Game Grumps. I don't know. I don't watch that stuff. But it was like it rocked my socks off. And I think whenever I've had an opportunity to go back and play it, I can sit down, I can knock this out like less than an hour. And
right.
It's an easy experience once you get used to it, like most Mega Man games are. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's so easy. Well, that's because it's a well-tailored game. And if you have any platform action, jump and shoot adventure experience, yeah, this is just such a joy to play through. And yeah, I never thought it was too easy. Like, it provides just that right amount of challenge with still being able to just kind of zone out and get into kind of a zen mode. But I know you don't want to be here all day, but we're gonna, if you couldn't tell, we're just gonna give this game a giant BJ the entire time. It's gonna be
it's gonna be a generous, I guess, jerking off, as you could probably put it. But yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And I think one of the more remarkable things about this game, and like you said, you mentioned the aforementioned Ego Raptor, Aaron Hansen of Game Grumps fame, of Sequelitis fame. Yes. Did a fantastic video that I pretty much 100% agree with all the reasons why Mega Man X is fantastic. And he lays out those points very, very well in kind of a critical breakdown of why this game took everything the Mega Man series did and just pretty much catapulted it up. And yeah, can we talk about that for a second? Like, hold on. Yeah, we're getting Mega Man 6 in like 1993. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I understand that 1 out of 4 homes in America has a Nintendo Entertainment System, and you don't want to give up that market share. But like at this point, the Super Nintendo had been out for like 3-ish years, if my dates are correct. I mean, it's I kind of equate it to like what PlayStation's doing today. It's like, all right, PS5's been out for a couple years. You're still tossing games on the PS4 here. Like what are we doing here? What are we doing with our lives? And yeah, I think
buy a PS5.
I think that fans were just frustrated that, you know, they really wanted a Mega Man game, a 16-bit Mega Man game. And it's 1993. It's been 3 years since the Super Nintendo, and they're just not getting it. And Capcom's finally like, oh, yeah, we probably should, like, do that. Because if I remember, did Mega Man 5 or 6 even break 1 million units sold? I seem to not remember that being close to that.
I can't imagine it did.
Trying to remember my King of Games knowledge. So
I can't. Ago. I don't remember it selling 1 million copies. If it did, I would be absolutely flabbergasted. So, I don't quote me. I wasn't on any of the Mega Man episodes.
I was on a Mega Man episode, but
Yes.
I think that you bring up an interesting point too about how, yes, the dashing replaced the slide, and now you have wall climbing. And really, to me, it's really cool that they managed to like maintain the what I call the quote unquote like Mega Man feel of the game, but still add these two options that increase your mobility and your level building options pretty much in infinite directions, because now you can ascend and descend slopes while maintaining dash, maintaining speed, doing dash jumps so you can jump further, wall jumping so you can have different kind of vertical level setups. I think it's cool to me that a game is able to add in like a couple of things that change the way you play the game so drastically, but also be able to maintain the spirit of what came before. And like you can just pick it up, and if you've played any of the Mega Mans before, you're like, yeah, this feels like Mega Man. The pacing, the speed, the jumping, the weight, all that like still feels the same. And Capcom had their shit figured out. They knew how to make a good game. They knew how to make something that felt good to play. And it feels so like, I can't understate like how just good this game feels to fucking play. It feels so great.
I don't see how anyone can call this game anything but the best Mega Man game. I know it's between this and Mega Man 2, and I think a lot of them have similarities. Right. Whereas Mega Man 2 really refines the formula for the classic Mega Man games. And I think what it all comes down to is difficulty. Because if you ask people what's the easiest Mega Man game, they say, oh, it's Mega Man 2. And then they're like, okay, what was the best Mega Man game? Oh, it's Mega Man 2. And then same with Mega Man X. Like, what's the easiest Mega Man X game? Well, probably X4. Some people might say X4. But, like, for the most part, a lot of people say Mega Man X, the original one. But they also say it's probably the most well put together. So I think that, like, a lot of people like to say games need to be hard or need to be challenging. And you know, games are so easy nowadays. Well, Mega Man X is an easy game, and it's still fantastic. This is a game that was released in 1994. So that's kind of a counter argument against a lot of these more modern gamers that like to say Nintendo hard or shit all over, you know, the difficulty strata of modern gaming. It's like, look, a lot of these games that people loved back in the day, a lot of these games that we put up on a pedestal and hang on our walls, they're some of the easiest of the franchise, and Mega Man X is one of them.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I found this way more approachable. Like I went back and played this after playing Mega Man 5, and I was just like, yeah, I wouldn't say that they intentionally designed it easier, but I just think the element of bringing it into the 16-bit era, adding things like your dashing, your wall jumping, giving you more maneuverability options, and just kind of the way they design the levels, just made it so that you could be better at the game and made you to be able to navigate the levels better. And I think that probably helped out with some of the difficulty as well. And plus, like, by now they have how many years of designing Mega Man games and learning how to set these levels up in the correct way so that, you know, they're tough but fair. And it provides a challenge to you, but it's something that you can still overcome within reason, not the ball-crushing difficulty of some of the earlier video games that were just designed to eat your quarters and just to make as much money off of you as possible.
Except the bosses. The bosses are too easy.
That is one thing, yeah. If you know the order, it does become pretty easy. Even if you don't know the order, like some people do Buster only runs of this game and make it look pretty easy. So yeah, I would argue that they kept the tradition of, like, you know, the screen transition and the boss fight in the boss room and stuff like that, and finding the quote unquote the order of the boss's weaknesses, which I think is a cool touch. But yeah, I would agree that they're not super challenging. The only ones I really found myself having any kind of trouble with was just those end Sigma boss levels that are a little bit challenging. But even then, I wouldn't say that, you know, having gone back and played some of the older titles now, that those were more difficult than that.
I'll say, like, if you want to do a Buster run, even without a Buster run, Launch Octopus is kind of a pain in the ass.
Boomer, it's probably the most difficult of Robot Masters.
Oh yeah, even with the right weapon, Boomer Quagmire with a Buster is pretty difficult. Sting Chameleon can be a motherfucker. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I don't even know if Spark Mandrill's tough or not, to be honest with you.
Right.
If someone would be like, yeah, I've played him with a Buster before and he's so much harder, I'm like, fine, but I don't, because why would I?
Right. Why do that when you can just stun lock him with Chill Penguin's weapon and just the fight can be over in 4 seconds? Like, why would I not do that? Obviously.
I want the challenge. That's a lie.
they put the weapons in the game for you to exploit the weaknesses. So of course I'm not gonna feel bad about exploiting them. Like I don't have to have some like whatever this like Dark Souls mentality of like you have to be the naked man with the club. That's the only true Dark Souls experience. It's like fuck you. This stuff was put in the game for me to play with. If it was put into the game, I'm gonna use it. Like there should be no gatekeeping for that at all.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What's your favorite weapon?
My favorite weapon? Ooh, I don't know. I found that I utilized all of them. For whatever reason, I really like the Storm Eagle's weapon. Just the Tornado Blast is pretty good. Yeah, I really like that one. And yeah, I think that would probably be my favorite one. Just because, I don't know, it's something about Storm Eagle. I like his design the best. I like his stage the best. That's probably my favorite one out of all of them.
Is he your favorite Robot Master too?
I think so, yeah. Definitely.
You know what? I would have to agree. And in the remake, Maverick Hunter X, they actually kind of make Storm Eagle like this kind of like anti-hero. That's like I know I'm doing the wrong thing, but I must. Kind of like
interesting.
Yeah, he has kind of like this. Like he's not doing it because he's doing it for the right reasons or whatever. He's more of a noble character, right? I think people picked up on that. But his weapon is one of my favorites in the beginning, just because it does so much damage,
right?
Over a short period of time. But once you get the arm cannon upgrade, whether that be in Flame Mammoth stage or in the first level of the Sigma stage,
right?
Armored Armadillos is fucking game breaking.
That's something that they bring up too, and I remember this specifically from the Eagle Raptor video too, where it's like, if you're at that Sigma boss fight and like you have all your E-Tank stuff and you die and you go back to whatever checkpoint it is before the Sigma fight and you've used all your E-Tanks, you can just use the charged up Armadillo shot to put like that shield around you, and then those things come out of the wall and you can just kill them over and over again just to recharge your E-Tanks pretty much, and recharge all your weapons and stuff. So yeah, I agree. That is completely overpowered. I found myself at those end stages too, using the charge up Sting Chameleon and Vulnerability, just kind of like sprint past all that bullshit and not even deal with it. Just be like, yeah, and that's another thing too. If you get the arm cannon and the upgrade for Sting Chameleon's weapon, you can literally just go invincible and run through the stage. So like, what are you talking about? for the most part.
The most useless is definitely Flame Mammoths. I hate his weapon.
Oh, I agree. I think that's stupid. And I kind of like to, one of the things that they did in this game as well is if you don't go in the predetermined order, at least my brain thinks of it this way. If you don't go in the predetermined order, there's some cool things that like can happen that affect the stages if you play certain stages first. So like, for example, if you play Chill Penguin first, which you like should probably always do because that's where the dash boots are. I believe that affects Flame Mammoth stage by like flooding it with snow, if I believe that correctly.
Yeah, it makes the magma ice.
Yes. And then if you do Storm Eagle stage before you do Spark Mandrill stage, the ship that he's on like literally crashes into Spark Mandrill stage and like breaks a bunch of shit. So I think that's really cool. That's not something that I had experienced in a Mega Man game before. And it kind of provides like this alternate path where it's like, hey, if you do things kind of out of the predetermined order, like then some different stuff happens. Like I know normally you're supposed to go like Chill Penguin, then Spark Mandrill, because that's like the natural progression of like what weapons are effective against what Robot Masters.
Right.
But for whatever reason, I don't find Storm Eagle difficult. So I would always do Chill Penguin then Storm Eagle just to like those stages back to back, and then go do the Spark Mandrill stage, because then it's fucked up and it's easier to get through because a bunch of the hazards are just wiped out.
No, I mean that's the exact order I go into. I start with Chill Penguin. Then I go to Storm Eagle, and then I'll either do Flame Mammoth or Spark Mandrill. One of the two. It doesn't really matter. And then I'll go to I'll do the remainder in the natural order of things, so to speak. So then Armored Armadillo, Launch Octopus, Boomer Quagner, Sting Chameleon. And yes, that's just the way I do things.
Let me ask you, I saw in your notes here, we had a little blurb in there. I think we both mentioned it. Let's talk about that intro stage. What do you think about that fucking intro stage?
Oh, it's classic. I think it's again going back to Aaron Hansen. Now that I know his name, thank you. And Ego Raptor. He's absolutely 100% right. I'm not going to say anything here that he didn't say there. It's the perfect tutorial level. It tells you exactly how you're supposed to play this game. Aside from the dashing, because you don't have the dash boots yet. But
right.
If you're just approaching this game as a new Mega Man game and you're pressing down and jump, it's not doing anything, but you played Mega Man 1 and 2, okay, it might not have a dash because not every game has a dash, so that's all fine, but you learn how to play the game without it, and you learn that you have to Some enemies can't have to be hit in certain ways, and some enemies can be jumped over. And you need to wall climb at times, and environmental effects may happen. So it teaches you all these things in this intro stage that you don't really get anything of, but it sets up the plot, which there really isn't much of. It shows you that Zero is cool and he's good, and Vile is bad, and nothing about Sigma really. But it lays out this groundwork that you are a weak robot that's going to get stronger. And it helps develop into the end of the game when you've gotten all these weapons and gotten all these armor upgrades, and now you're powerful. And you compare to where you at the intro to the first Sigma stage, and you're like, oh wow, okay, like it does everything so perfectly, and it all is established and was possibly, my opinion, I mean that I can recall anyway, the best intro stage in a video game since Super Mario Brothers.
That's the exact point that I have, and I think you 100%. I agree with all the points he makes in his videos, because when he sits there and lays it out for you, you're just like, wow, like it's so obvious, but even though it's obvious, it's so clever the way they did that. And I think that's something that people don't really, especially younger people, or especially people that are just like quote unquote like modern gamers, don't really appreciate, because, you know, I've just for an example here, I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for like 20 hours, and I'm still getting tutorial pop-up boxes in that game, but I've been playing it for 20 hours. That was not the way things were done back then. It's like you had to, with the limited memory on these cartridges, like you had to find a way to cleverly teach your players how to play the game through the act of playing the game. You didn't have time for these big expansive tutorials in the starts of your games. Like you just didn't have to. And the way they went about laying the intro stage for Mega Man X is like, I've told like everybody who's come to me and asked me, why do you love it so much? And I'm like, it belongs in the Smithsonian. Like it's that fantastic. It's such an incredible, like if you're gonna go into like video game design, like this should be one of the things that they should point to and be like, okay, play this level. Like it's a real good way of like showing you how you can inform a player just through gameplay. You don't have to like beat him over the head with text boxes and be like, oh, here's your controller map, or like, oh, hey, like do this 5 times to learn this mechanic or whatever, or like, you know, kill this guy 5 times to learn the counter mechanic or whatever it is. It's something that you don't think about now, because like we've been playing games for so many years, and you're just like, yeah, like I know how to play video games, but like back then it was so incredibly clever. And when you just take a second to dissect it and look at it, it's amazing. It's so incredible. And then
you don't even think you're being taught.
Yeah, you just think you're playing, and that's the hallmark of a good fucking intro stage.
Yes.
I think too, one of my favorite things it does is the way it subverts your expectations with Vile too. I mean, that's a known thing now. It's a known quantity. Everyone knows, even if you don't play this game, I feel like everyone knows it's like you're supposed to lose to Vile. It's a scripted sequence. Like that's just how it is. But back then, the way they kind of subvert your expectations with like the B copter not having the health and then Vile not having health, it's like you don't know if like you're supposed to be beating him or you're just getting your ass kicked, and it makes you feel helpless until Zero comes in and just is like the fucking coolest guy on the planet, and then sets up this whole theme of like, hey, yeah, you're about to go on this journey and you're gonna become a lot stronger. That's just really good storytelling in a game that, like you said, doesn't have a lot of story to it.
No, and you can't trust people who don't like Zero. If you meet someone and they say I don't like Zero or Zero's not cool, automatically they should not be your friend. So you can't trust them.
No, I think 100%. And what they did was they put a bunch of people in a room and they just kept refining Zero's design until everybody was like, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they put it out. Yeah. Oh, when he comes in with the hair flowing, there's a reason he got his own game, because he's just the coolest. I mean, who didn't want to be Zero?
Yeah. From what I understand, that was supposed to be his game, but they told Inafune go pack sand or something like that. I'm not sure.
I seem to remember that they were like, we don't know like if people will be mad that you're not playing as Mega Man, which I get like from a marketing perspective, sure, but like if just put it out, like the people would have seen that Zero was cool and they would have been fine with it, honestly. So
yeah, they spent the next 7 games trying to get you to play as Zero, and everyone was waiting for them to do it. Like, why can't I play Zero yet?
And next thing you know, we got like 8 Mega Man X games, and Zero's got his own series, and the rest was history. So
no one talks about the Zero series, really, though.
Yeah, I didn't have any experience with it. So for better or worse, it is what it is. It's out there. Maybe I'll get to playing them one day, but I don't know. So, Chris, I got to say this. I hear my dogs angrily jangling the bells, meaning they want to go outside. So just to wrap this up, I think we've said heaps some praise on this game. And hey, if you're looking for a good game a good retro game to go back and play, this is definitely one of them. To me, this is one of the games I think about when I think of retro video games. When I think about the Super Nintendo, it's like Super Mario World and Mega Man X are like the first two that I think of. So,
yeah, same. This is probably up there in my top 10 of video games of all time. I could lavish this with praise. Eric asked me for 30 to 40 minutes on this, and I think we're approaching an hour. So I could be here for another hour or two talking about how much we didn't even get to the music. But
we didn't get to the music.
We didn't, which is fantastic. So there you go. Everything is magical. Everything is amazing. There's the music. Go play Mega Man X. What I said at the beginning, you haven't played it yet. Play it for Christmas. Treat yourself. Yes. You'll find Santa somewhere in your heart. And the Dick Dragon's veins will grow 10 times that day, as we said at the beginning. Just to reiterate, because Mega Man X is that game.
Absolutely. And I think that is the glowing review on the back of the box that you read when you purchase the game. So, especially the parts about the veins and the Dick Dragon. So,
thrusting into your heart.
Thrusting into your heart. Absolutely. Chris, sir, thank you so much for joining me this short little episode here. In case this is someone's first time, if it is their first time, welcome to the show. You picked a pretty interesting one to be a part of for the first one. So if it's somebody's first time, would you like to just quickly tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm at me and my partner Shane have the Retro Hangover podcast, and you can find that at linktree/Retro Hangover. That's linktr.ee/Retro Hangover. You can find us on all the podcast players of your choice, whatever it is, catcher, I don't know. But yeah, just go to that link and you can find whatever's there. We do a review show of a retro video game. We define retro as 10 years or older. So go check that out. We also have the King of Games running, and Eric is a guest on there. And we had a great time with that. As a big project. Took us almost a year to complete. Multiple different podcasts and content creators. I'm very proud of it, and Eric did a fantastic job. So if you do like this show, he's on a couple of those episodes where he greatly outperforms expectations because he does better than me. So go check those out. And that once again, Retro Hangover. Thank you. And hey, Eric, thank you so much for having me on. It's always a joy to record with you, and I'm honored to be on this podcast for your 12 Games of Christmas.
The honor is mine, sir. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to people seeing those, not just my King of Games episodes, but all the King of Games episodes. That's going to be a fantastic thing. It's going to be a wonderful thing. And like I said at the top of the show, thank you for being a part of the first year of Unlockables. And thank you for all your support throughout the year. It's been absolutely incredible. And I know that we have many, many future collaborations to come, unless the world ends, which then nobody will be collaborating. So
could happen. But I look forward to those collaborations.
The world might be ending. Merry Christmas. Have a good night. No,
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, right.
And nuclear winter. Christmas is every month.
I think I'll leave it with this piece of advice. Just let the Dick Dragon into your heart and it'll grow 3 sizes. Have a good night, everybody.